My World of Travel with Michael Byrne, taking you on a virtual journey each week.
Welcome to My World of Travel. Join Michael each week on his up-and-coming podcast as we explore remarkable destinations that each tell a unique story.
Session of My World of Travel. Now this is our third one, by the way. So first of all, I want to wish you all a happy little week coming up to Christmas very shortly. Okay, I myself haven't even put my decorations up yet. No, I'm going to do it this weekend, I can promise you. I was supposed to do it today. Maybe I will do it today, but the main thing is that you are doing well for yourself and that you are all looking forward to a good Christmas. Now, I'm a bit late again this week because I have a hectic week because I do have a day job, and that day job is looking after guests in different hotels here in Tunisia. Not going to go into much more detail about that because we'll leave that as another day. But in the meantime, I hope you've had a good week and that you've been looking after yourself and that we have plenty to talk about. Now, the first week we did, of course, as I said, the 12 favourite selected personnel that I have worked with throughout the years. And then last week we did answer quite a few emails, some repeats, and we did get a lot this week, but I just haven't got the time to read through them all, to censor them, because some of them are the same and some of them you cannot repeat on air. But before we go into our emails of this week, I'd just like to remind you, at the moment you've probably heard that EasyJet are having a strike on in England, and you might wonder how that would affect you. Well, first of all, it will affect you with delays, and sometimes it may have a cancellation. So my advice to you quickly is to go to phone the airport and find out, is your flight going to be cancelled or is it going to be delayed? So therefore you won't have to wait for hours at the airport, which is very important. So that's number one. So that's the news this week. Now, lots of airlines are having problems at the moment, and coming at Christmas, it is a time where lots of people are frustrated with the travel arrangements. They've all booked up, they're looking forward to the holiday, and just like everything else, they want a good time for Christmas. Now, some people don't travel for Christmas, but this year, of course, there's a lot more are going to travel overseas to a special destination, and that's where the Santa Claus, Iceland, okay? And they're going to travel over and meet Santa Claus and have a wonderful time, especially for the kids and for the family. Now, also, we just have to remind you that when you are traveling over, do make sure that you are booking with a legit organization, because sometimes these organizations don't give you what you need, not just overseas but in the UK as well. We had lots of troubles last year with people booking and paying a lot of money going to the so-called Centreland in England, of course, and it wasn't what they expected. So book with a legit, okay, YouTube, EasyJet, wherever you're flying to, make sure that you have a good time, make sure that it's what you expected and what you paid for. So that's number one. Now, bit about myself again this week. I've had a very busy week this week. Okay, I've been organising guests here in Tunisia on different hotels. Won't go into much detail, but I'm up at the crack of dawn, so I'm still working and doing the business with the touristic industry. So I do know a lot about different queries and questions. Now, we had many questions there last week about different things. Just run through a couple of them there. We had Mary from Dublin. How can we get a refund if the flight is delayed? Well, she rang me during the week And she told me that she did get a refund, not as much as she wanted, but she did get it because I put her in contact with a number. So that's very good news for you, for Mary in Dublin. Now this week we have quite a few, but before we go into them, I just want to give you an update on what's happening in the touristic aid. Now at the moment there is lots of changes going on within the touristic age. For instance, Spain and places like that are clamping down on the dress and the behaviour because, as you know, before the locals were complaining about the guys and the boys going around with no t-shirts. So now you are not allowed to go around with without a t-shirt in public in Spain. So just check your hotel and check your country that you are flying to make sure that you are not going to break the rules, because it can be quite a hefty fine. Yes, it can be quite a hefty fine, up to 50 euros and maybe 100 euros. And if you don't be able to pay that money, then you will probably spend 24 hours in a prison cell. I'm just giving you advice when you are going on holiday. Now, for those who liked all-inclusive, do please be careful, because in the hotels I was working with this week, I saw quite a few of incidents, people falling off of walls and ending up in hospital drunk and having to pay fines of money. Now, one rule that you will have to watch out for, and this happened to me this week to one of our hotels: if you get drunk and you start causing a problem in that hotel, now remember, each hotel, your company, whoever you book with, you have a contract with that hotel, and in that contract it states that you have to behave yourself and abide by the rules and regulations of that hotel. And within reason, there's not that much regulations or rules, except for if you cause a disturbance. We had guests that were a bit drunk, we say, and they were having an argument. Husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into much detail, but the fact is they did some damage to the room, and of course they were asked politely to ease off, and they got 2 warnings, and that's what you normally get, is a warning. Okay, maybe 1, maybe 2, and then they were asked to leave the hotel, and they have to now find another hotel and find the money to repair, because their passports were held until they pay the damages. Now, at the moment, that's an ongoing situation, but that's just an idea of what happens in different hotels. Please, when you go to a hotel, do respect the rules and regulations, and especially the system in that country, because you have to respect the rules and regulations. They're not like the UK and not like some other resorts where they are lenient. Some hotels and some countries are very strict and severe, so you have to watch out for them. Now, also, we'll just remind you that last week we had a lot of people that did complain and had a few little. I'm just going to go through one more before we go into this week's one. Okay, now Jennifer got her refund, by the way, yeah, and David asked a question from Birmingham: what happens when you leave a camera behind? Well, he got his camera back, yes, but you know how much he had to pay for it? He had to pay 70 euros or 70 pounds, should I say. Yes, that's what it costs for the tax and insurance for sending it all the way back to the UK. So be careful. If it's not valuable, just remember, if it doesn't cost you over 70 euros or 70 pounds, then it's not worth looking for it. You might as well buy a new one for that price. Okay, so that's enough about last week. And I hope this week that you are getting excited for the Christmas. And next week, I guarantee we will have Christmas, and we will be going to a nice place, and we might even visit Santaland. Yes, one of our special excursions or a special travel. We travel, as you know, My World of Travel. We have a virtual journey every week. This week we've got a nice one coming up. But next week I will let you on a little secret. It might be Santaland that we will be going to. So look forward to that. Now, this week we've got quite a few emails. We had about 35 altogether. Some we can't get through them all because we just haven't got the time. I overran my time last week, so I'll try to do the best I can this week. Now, Francis from Surrey, his question was, or is, should I say, when is the best time to book a holiday, early or late? Now, this will depend on what type of holiday you want. If you book early, you will get what you want. Okay, but you will pay that little bit extra. But you are guaranteed to get the room or the area or the resort that you want, and also the flights. So that's very important. But if you don't care about where you are staying, you just want a nice quick holiday, but a cheap one, then you can book a week or you can book a month or so before. Go to your travel agency or look up on the internet, okay, and booking.com is a good one. That's the one I always use, and you will see late deals, and they will be cheaper than you would pay 5 months before. So that's my answer to that. Okay, when is the best time to book a holiday, early or late? Well, if you want a nice holiday but pay that little bit extra but get what you want and what you like, then early is the best bet. If you don't care where you stay or how much, as long as you get a cheap holiday, then you can book late. There's always late deals, and they are quite a good bargain. So that's my answer there to you, Francis. I hope you are well, and we want to wish you a very nice, happy Christmas. I hope you have your decorations up. Now, a second one is from a woman, so a lady called Phyllis, and she's all the way down there in Kent. Now, I heard Kent is a nice place. Okay, her question is, I want to take my son who is 14 and he is hyperactive. Lots of kids are hyperactive. I want to go to Spain next July. Where is the best place to look for? Now, this can be a bit of a tricky thing. It depends on how hyperactive he is. My best bet would be to go to a big club, okay, to a TUI or to a hotel where they have children's entertainment and they have a children's club, because they will look after him and take care. They'll take him off your hands while you have a little break, and they will entertain him with some painting or some outdoor activities, and they will use up his energy. So by the time you collect him, then he will be a little bit calmer and calm down. But something you have to realize, when you do go to a children's club, you will have to sign that person, that girl or that boy, into that club. Yes, and then you are responsible to collect him at that time that you are given by the entertainers, the kids club entertainers, and they will tell you when to come back and collect him, and you will sign him in and you will sign her or him out. So therefore you will have the responsibility. It's not the responsibility of the entertainers to stay there with them longer than what they've told you. They've got a 2 hours limit where they can entertain, because remember, they have different teams, they have different classes, they have under 3s and they have 4s and they have 8s and 9s, so they have to change ready for those boys and girls. So be fair, collect him on time or her, and sign for them in and sign for them out. So that's a little warning there for Phyllis. But the best place to go to is a big hotel where they have entertainment for adults and also for kids. Check and make sure they have a kids club. Now you might say, right, How do we check that? It's quite easy. All you have to do is to make sure you look at the brochure or the online, or when you go to a travel agency, ask them and they'll check for you. They'll check online for you and you will find out. It will tell you everything. It will tell you if they had a kids club or if they haven't got a kids club. So do check before you go to a hotel. Don't go to a hotel and expect every hotel to have entertainment and kids club. A 5-star hotel will not have a kids club and will not have entertainment to your level for children. It will have a piano bar or a couple of shows, but not a kids club or a mini disco. So that's a couple of things. Now, number 3, Janet from Cavan. I have a mother who is using a wheelchair. Will I get assistance at the airport? Now, this can be a bit of a tricky thing because some airports, they will just have wheelchair assistance automatically at the hotel. But it is up to you to make sure when you are booking your holiday that you will have that service. And they will help you by booking that service, because 9 times out of 10 it will have to be booked. You can't assume that you're going to get wheelchair assistance. Most airports will do that for you. And also when you get to the hotel, if you haven't got a wheelchair, you can hire them from the hotel. They will give you the phone number and then you can hire them for that particular 2 weeks or week or whatever, and you will pay for it and they will deliver it to you, okay, and you will have it then, look after it, and then you can use that. So that's the answer for the wheelchair. Okay, your mother using a wheelchair, yet make sure that you book the assistance. Okay, don't assume that at each airport they have wheelchair assistance, because they have not got them. Now David from Tipperary, a place of where I come from originally, is I have booked 2 weeks all inclusive to Sansa Ponza. Is this good as I have 2 teenage boys? Now we did answer this last week, I believe, from somebody else. Now Sansa Ponza is great for the Irish. Okay, now they have plenty of activities for young teenagers. No problem. I've been there myself and I've worked there, so I know the system there. So do make sure that you have booked a nice hotel that have plenty of entertainment and sports. But in Sansa Ponza, outside the hotels, you've got loads of things you can do that kids can do. You've even got a water park, roller coasters, you've got, you name it, and they've got them all in Mallorca, in the resort of Sansa Ponza. And that's particularly ready for the Irish. Lots of Irish bars just outside the hotel. You've got the strip there where you have all the bars and entertainment. So that's a great place to go. So the answer to David, yeah, Tipperary. Yeah, you booked a right good place, all inclusive, Sansa Ponza. It's a very good place for teenagers because they've got lots of things to do. You will find out that they will probably spend less time with you than you might think. They will go out and meet their own people because there's lots of young teenagers the same age as them, and they will do their own little thing and they come back in at night time. Okay, just make sure that you know where they are at all times and that they have the contact number with them, just in case they might get into a little bit of trouble. Sometimes they do, okay, but mostly a good place to go to. That's Sansa Ponza. Now that's the answer for David. Now Joan from Kilkenny. Kilkenny, it's a place I know, a very quiet place, a nice little place in Ireland, of course. I have booked a sea view and I was told to check a month before. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because sea views are a very demanding booking. Lots of people look for a sea view. And normally what they will tell you when you ask for a sea view, they will say, contact me nearer the time. They will put you down provisionally for a sea view, but that doesn't mean to say you will get a sea view, and you're not guaranteed a sea view. Okay, so a month before you get to that hotel, ring the hotel and ask for the reception, and not the reception manager, but ask for the booking reservation manager. And then she or he will be able to tell you, will there be a sea view vacant the day of the week that you are coming? And if not, then they will give you the next best thing, because a sea view, you have a corner, a middle, and or left corner. So it doesn't matter, but it will be a sea view. If they say you've got a sea view, don't expect the middle sea view. Now, if you ask them on the phone, they might be able to tell you, or they might be able to reserve it for you, okay? But you will have to pay for it. It's as simple as that. It's always extra for a sea view. But yes, that's why they ask you to book a month before, not 6 months before, because you don't know. They won't know what's happening. Somebody could extend, all right, and they might have bookings before you with that sea view, and they don't know which part is going to be vacant. So that's your answer for Joan from Kilkenny. I booked a sea view. I was told to check a month before. Well, that's why you are told to check a month before. Now, Pauline from Kent, okay, will I be able to see a rep when I get to the hotel, as I'm not good with technology? Now, 2 days ago, I met a lady, a woman. She was around 85, 86. Now, she was looking for her flight time home, and she didn't know how to use. She didn't download the EasyJet app, or the TUI app, should I say. So what I did is I had to download it for her. Okay, I'm there, but you won't always get a rep in a hotel. She was very lucky that I was in that hotel. That's where I work. And also, she had loads of apps, but didn't know how to work them. So what you normally do, especially with TUI or with EasyJet, they have a code bar, okay, in the reception area. Now, and then you take a picture from with your code bar, take a picture of that, and that will send you immediately the pickup time for your flight. Now, if you haven't got that, which this lady didn't have, okay, and it was too late after I downloaded it for her, because she didn't know how to use the other apps, okay, which is the TUI app. So what I did for her, I went to the reception and I asked them, and they informed me that there's a phone number which they phoned, and they send the pickup time by text. So if you haven't downloaded the app, or you can't use the new iPad or a smartphone, and you haven't got the app to download, you don't know how to do it, don't worry, they have your phone number, and they will send a text, or they will send an email to the reception of your hotel. Will give you the pickup time the day before. So do not have to worry about that, okay? So if you don't know how to use the app, there is a way that you will get your pickup time. So don't worry about that. Now, so that's Pauline from Kent, a rep, when I get to the hotel. Now, another lady called Gillian from Tadworth in Surrey. Okay, that's where I came from originally, from Tadworth in Surrey, in England. But of course, I was born in Ireland, went back to England. Long story. Anyway, I have booked a 2 weeks holiday in Salou, Spain. Can I get to Barcelona easy from this resort I am staying in? Now, very easy. They have buses, okay? You get a taxi to the bus station, and the bus will take you all the way to Barcelona, or even to Madrid. It doesn't matter, but then you can spend the day there. And the best thing about the bus station is like a train station there. They've got all the times and the lines, different bus numbers, and they will tell you where you're going to or where you're going back to. So when you arrive in Barcelona with your bus, okay, just check which number it's on, and then you go back to the same one, and the bus will go back then to the resort of Sanza Ponza. So that's no problem there with the buses to Barcelona. Beautiful place, but be careful, you can get lost there Very easy. So just keep an eye on where you are. Now there is bus tours that will go. Yeah, you'll get plenty of bus tours, and your reps, or should I say, at the hotel, you will be told all about that, and you can book them, no problem. Best way, then you have a guide with you in case you might be a bit nervous about traveling to the big city in Barcelona, which is quite big. Okay, beautiful agricultural things. There's lots of places to go there. Best to go on a tour. That's my advice for you. Okay, to Barcelona. Now we have, let's see, yeah, okay. Now we have another guy here called Anthony. He's from Croydon. Okay, what can I do if I have not got an iPhone with me, as I am over 80 years of age and I've only got an ordinary phone? Well, as I've said before, do not worry about that, because at the reception, most hotels, they will help you with that. Okay, you will have a contact number on your booking form that you got. Okay, and that phone number, they will phone it for you, and then they will hand you the phone, or you can use your own phone with that phone number, and then you can ask the rep the question, and they will tell you how they will send you the pickup time for your flight. It will be either by email to the hotel, which the hotel will convert to you, or it will be your own little phone, and they will send you a little text message. So do check from time to time. So therefore, do not worry about that. Now, so that's Anthony from Croydon. Okay. Now Frederick from Wales. Can I change my luggage allowance if I think I'm going to be overweight? Now, yes, you can change your luggage allowance, but don't wait till the last minute. Okay, some airlines you can book and extend your luggage allowance if you want to, and then you pay by your credit card or as normal. Okay, but if you don't do that, then you might find that when you get to the airport and you are over your luggage allowance, that it will cost you a lot more than it would if you did it online before you go to the airport. So my advice to you is check your air luggage, but you don't need all the air allowance, as I've told you last week. Be careful what you pack. I will go through that again next week, because it's coming near Christmas now, and I know a lot of people will bring things over for Christmas that they don't need. All right, now, so just be careful, but do check and try to book it before you go on your flight. Book online, okay, and pay the extra by credit card, rather than go to the airport and find out you are 10 kilos over, and then you have to pay treble times the money you would normally pay, because that's what they do at the airport. So that's Frederick from Wales. Now our final one this morning is from a lady called Veronica from Cork City. I know the Cork City very well. I stayed there for quite a while. When do you have to pay the tax to the hotel? I heard when you leave. Now, well, you heard wrong, because the tax that you will have to pay will be at the reception when you check in. When you check in, okay, they will take off your credit card or whatever. They will take off your credit card or cash, and they will ask you for the tax, because they have to have that before you leave the hotel. So you pay it at reception when you are checking in. Now, time is running out. It's 28 minutes already. I'm only allowed 30 minutes to max. Anyway, I do hope that I helped you, and I want to thank all of you who did send the email in. I will answer some more next week. I have about 20 more that I didn't get through. But thank you to Francis, Phyllis, Janet, David, Joan, Pauline, Gillian, Anthony, Frederick and Veronica for sending in their emails. Okay, thank you very much indeed. And as I said, it's very nice to get those emails coming in every week. So watch out for our virtual journey this week. And remember, next week it will be a visit to Santaland. So it will all be about Christmas next week. In the meantime, for me, from as you say, Michael Burns, okay, Enjoy your week, and remember, if you are going on holiday, always research, make sure you have the right luggage allowance, and less stress is better for you, and less luggage is better, because it's quite warm. In some countries there is cold in the morning and cold in the evening, so always bring a jumper or something for the early mornings or the late evenings. For me, I will say goodbye for now, and I will be handing you over very shortly to our virtual journey. Where will we go this week? We shall find out. For me, Michael Byrne, bye for now.
My World of Travel with Michael Byrne, taking you on a virtual journey each week.
Welcome to Egypt, a land steeped in rich history and vibrant culture. This week, with Michael, we will explore the wonders that make it a must-visit destination for travelers worldwide. No trip to Egypt is complete without visiting the iconic pyramids of Giza, the magnificent Luxor Temple, and cruising along the breathtaking Nile River. Experience the rich tapestry of Egyptian culture through its traditional cuisine, customs, and rituals that have been preserved for centuries. Embrace adventure with thrilling activities such as camel rides through the desert, hot air ballooning over Luxor, and diving into the vibrant underwater world of the Red Sea. Dive into the heart of Egyptian life by exploring local markets like Khan el-Khalili, where you can find exquisite handcrafted goods and authentic souvenirs. Stand in awe of historic landmarks such as the Valley of the Kings and the enigmatic Sphinx, each telling a story of Egypt's grand past. Before you embark on your Egyptian adventure, think back to all the tips Michael gave you on his podcast with some essential safety tips to ensure a smooth and enjoyable journey. Practice responsible tourism by embracing sustainable travel options, helping to protect the stunning landscapes and cultural heritage of Egypt. Let's hear from the locals themselves as they share their rich stories and perspectives on life in Egypt. As we conclude our journey through Egypt, Michael on his podcast will have given you some great tips. So let's recap some essential travel tips to keep in mind for your own adventure.
My World of Travel with Michael Byrne, taking you on a virtual journey each week.